I'm Dr. Comfort. Welcome to episode 5. I'm a special education teacher. I specialize in working with students with the low incidence disabilities. Basically, that's students that are on the lower end of the special education spectrum. And I aim to support teachers, caretakers that work with students or have children with disabilities. The reason I do this basically is just to help the adult get a little bit of knowledge added to what they know already, to help a struggling student or student with disability get closer to their highest potential, whatever that may look like. Okay, and basically it's a passion. Doing this is just the love of it, because I myself, I struggle from learning disabilities in my early years of schooling and middle school, high school, when I noticed it more. And it was never identified and it was ignored. So because of that, I struggled endlessly in school. I even dropped out of college because of that. But I had to fight it, and I decided to learn how to learn and overcome my own learning disabilities. And I'm here for all that special education can offer. So today's question is from a parent, and she said, how do I know my child is learning? That's the question. How do I know if my child is learning? First of all, we have to understand that there's a difference with learning and memorization. Okay, because when a child can count from 1 to 10, a child can know the ABCs. You think the child is learning, but that just signs that your child has the ability to memorize, but not think critically. All right, because when you are learning, you are thinking critically, right? And that's what we want for our child, not to memorize things, but to critically think about it. So learning is acquiring new understanding, knowledge, behavior, skills, values, attitudes, and preference. That is all learning. Okay, when a child is learning to know who they are. So just having your child memorize the number of 1 to 10 or the ABCs A to Z, that is not learning. There's more to just memorizing. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is learning is critical thinking, is developed through trial and error on the child's part. So it's okay for the child to make a mistake in the process without you jumping into it. It's also learning cause and effect. Okay, how are these things gonna work together for me to understand what is being brought in front of me? Okay, and practicing new skills, practicing life skills. Okay, life skills, new skills in academic area, in life area, is all learning, as long as the child is able to critically come into understanding, come into knowledge, come into their own behaviors, skills, values, attitudes, preference. That is learning. you asking, how do I know my child is learning? Trust me, you're gonna know. How you gonna know is the fact that you're gonna see it in their eyes. When your child is explaining something, oh my God, you can see in their eyes the understanding of the concept. And also you can see it by the attitudes, the way they move around in explaining the material, to show that I got this. So you can know when your child is learning. You can see it, okay? But most importantly, by participating in parent-teacher conference, you're gonna know more about how your child is learning by making a point to go to parent-teacher conference. What are you gonna end up getting for parent-teacher conference? It's gonna help you assess what your child is learning. The teacher should I'm not saying that they do it all the time, but the teacher should share academic process and growth of your child in the class. They should also share class observation, what they see happening in the class. They should also show you testing data. They should show you assessment, and maybe they have a portfolio of the child's work. They should show you that, okay? And so also they should show you assessment. But importantly, the teacher should give you guidelines of what they are expecting from your child, their goals. If they have IEP, individual education plan, they should actually let you know what they are focusing on at that time. If this is the regular education classroom, they should give you the subject goal. What are we working on in math? What are we working on in English, science, social studies, so that you as a parent can take that to the house and add to that knowledge. It's even important that you take what they're learning in the classroom and put it into the house learning as well. So it is important then to take what the teacher is saying that they are learning in the classroom and pull that into the house, okay? And what did I mean that pulling it into the house? I mean that do activities to actually tap into what that is. So if let's take a example, if the child is learning simple addition, and they want to know, the teacher said the goal is for them to be able to add up to 20. So in the house, you can count simple things together. What I'm saying is, when you bring the goals from this classroom into this to the house, you're able to let your child know that these things that is being taught in class, it can actually be applied here at home as well. So if your child is learning simple addition at school, at home, go ahead and do little counting things at home. That is how you're able to make the learning beneficial to the child, okay? That's how you will know that your child is learning, because you can see their critical thinking, right? And that's what we want. We don't want them to memorize anything. For example, I had a student. I was teaching the student their address, all right, and I realized that the student memorized his address. And so I was like, man, can that student really understand if he sees the address in a different way? So I decided to cut the address, the house number, the street number, the street name, the state, the zip code. I cut it all up and I put it in front of the child and said, can you put it in order, because the child couldn't write, but I wanted to know, can they identify the street, the zip code, the states, the house number? Can they put it in order? And I realized that she couldn't do it. But if I put two paper in front of her, one with her real address, the one without her real address, she could able to pick it because she has memorized it as a picture, right? But she cannot assemble it. So we had to work on that. So because I want her to think critically in how her address is formed. Okay, so we had to talk about every part of the address, and she was able to eventually assemble her address by just having the numbers. But the idea is, memorization is not learning. It's just memorizing like a picture. But learning is critical thinking. So I want to say that take your time and really study your child, and you can see them as they learn. Feel free to send me an email, send me a message, put a comment below, and let's talk about it. And you can call me for 45 minutes free call, and let's talk about how I can support you to be the best parent, the best teacher you can be for your student with disabilities. So I say bye. Thank you so much.
For further information or to support us, please contact us, Irvington, New Jersey, 07111, United States of America, or visit DATSS.org. DATSS, supporting teachers of students with disabilities.